What's going on, folks? Painless. As you can see, I'm going to attempt to ramp these videos up. I've got, as you can see, my old vintage setup. And what I want to do, I want to get me a desk, a nice desk. I've had this same computer since '07. This same Mac. This is the same computer that I've done a lot of my material on, and it's still ticking, but I want to get me another computer and desk and mic and all that good stuff. But you see the title of the video, folks. This is just another, I listened to Brother David Carroll and what he has said all these years about black folks being politically re-educated. And I watched a clip in which Ice Cube was speaking about it, and it was truth. It was straight truth. And the mere fact that we questioning the likes of Ice Cube and his historic stance on black folks it's absurd to me. I'm a big Ice Cube fan. Ice Cube he's always walked it like he talked. And the fact that people are questioning him, and I'm going to get to those types of individuals that really don't know what time it is. Ice Cube said something that be wary of people who just tell you to go vote. He said something along the lines that black folks that walked outside didn't die to vote. They didn't go out their house and say, I'm willing to die so that we can vote. He said what happened is by happenstance that black folks that did go out there and do those things and exercise and promote their ability to vote were subsequently killed by racists or whoever or opposers of people trying to vote. This whole vote or die mantra is very irresponsible, and it comes from the likes of LeBron James. I believe P. Diddy did it back in the day. This very emotional response to voting, as if, and you know what? And what Ice Cube was saying that when you vote, and it goes along in what Brother David Carroll's always said, you don't vote just to go vote shit. You vote and say, look, I'm going to vote for you, but this is what I expect from you. And if I don't get what I expect, if what I'm demanding, then you're going to pay the price next go round. And see, what black folks are doing now, they are just, it's like it's showboating. And you know how Negroes love to showboat. I'm going to vote. I've seen so many pics on social media and people, and I've said black folks always telegraph they punches. Hashtag Kamala and Biden. Hashtag vote him out. But you're just voting just to vote. And I've said this countless times that black folk vote for the president like they take it, like they voting who gonna take names when the teacher leave, or who's gonna be the valedictorian. That's how black folks vote. It's a popularity contest, but you're not expecting, you're not demanding nothing. You're not demanding a goddamn thing. And I stand by Ice Cube working with Trump and he's putting his money where his mouth is. And you have people saying, I wouldn't sit with Trump. I listen to Willie D say I wouldn't sit with Trump if my life depended on it. And I'm like, why not? And see, this is the thing with black folks. You act like you don't know nobody worse than Trump in terms of business. Trump he's not a politician. He's a businessman, and regardless of how you feel his failed businesses and all this and whatever, and he's been bankrupt, and he's doing more than you are while you sitting at home with your finger up your ass. He's done more than you. He's done more than about 80% of you Negroes out here talking about he's failed business. He can't run a business. How you gonna run? You can't even run your damn home. Talking about shoot. I just, it's this, like I said, the whole vote and die. It's very dramatic. I've talked about LeBron's comments and my feelings about LeBron in terms of his, he keeps out of trouble, but he's a product of a single mother. I'm just gonna keep it at that. And I'm not saying all products of single mothers but are like this. But there's a pattern and a tendency, very feminine, very docile type attributes that I see in LeBron. Even when he talks, his mannerisms, his eyes, his shape, it doesn't really demonstrate masculinity. It's fake masculinity. It's masculine. He's masculine on the basketball court to me, LeBron James. I think that's his dancing, his TikToking, and always jumping around and doing little stunts and dances. I know the origins of that type of behavior for a man at that age, and for him, I've said for him to say that. Go back and look at that clip, and when he says, man, black folks we're just scared. Pay attention to his mannerisms when he says that. It's very childlike. It's very weak. And I've did videos about black men crying on camera, and how, what you have is you have the extremes. You have the crying black man. Then on the other spectrum, the extreme, you have the violent George Floyd types. And even he cried for his mama. And I'm not downplaying that, but I said that goes hand in hand, in which I say that the so-called black community is not patriarchal, it's very matriarchal. And, I've talked about this for years. I've been talking about this since 2012. And some of y'all can attest to this. Black men that, you ain't told about my mama, or my mom, where my mama at, and this is what you don't really see this in other ethnic groups or races but black men. And I've talked about how that is, you can trace that to the over-emotional responses that black men find themselves in, ultimately and unfortunately killed by police, where ordinarily a man, you reason, you don't get emotional, and you get yourself out of positions without being overly dramatic. And the over dramatic trait that a lot of black men portray can be directly traced to a woman. These are the things you expect from a woman, to act overly emotional, overly irrational, this real extra, So, yeah, this whole backlash that, Ice Cube is chasing trinkets and shiny things, I would say, what are you doing? So, Biden and Harris are the answer? Kamala's the answer? Who's locked up more black men, who's not allowed state's evidence to exonerate black men? That's your answer? First off, the mere fact that black folks are going to bat on social media, falling out with family and friends over two old white guys, to me it's beyond me. But the fact that you think that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is the answer. And see, black folks, we love feel good. We don't have any sense of delayed gratification. And I've said, what has Trump done to you? And this is not a pro-Trump. As I just said, the fact that we're talking about two white older guys. And I've said that, and it's not that they're white, but the two old guys in politics. And this is the best that the country has to, that can produce. This is it. And for you Negroes, you think Biden and Harris are the answer? Oh, it's not about race. We just want Trump out because he's divisive. We all want him out, black, brown. But then, if that's the case, why do you care if Kamala Harris is black or Indian? And I've said that black folks love to dip things in chocolate. They've done it with Jesus, the Hoteps, God. Black folks love dipping things in chocolate, and it's really. And I've talked about even fake coalitions with black and brown and all this stuff, which I don't understand. People should get along, but this whole I could care less what the Hispanic community does. Doesn't mean I don't feel some of the things that they go through, but you will never hear panelists talking about black and brown coalition. First off, it's disingenuous. Secondly, I'm black, and what Hispanics do, that's their business. And they stay out of ours. But we always try to include them, and they never try to include us, which they shouldn't, and which I don't care. But I'm merely pointing out what's going on, and this obsession with black folks always trying to corral and get other people on their side, and dipping things in chocolate and all that stuff. It's preposterous. It's immature. It's just real irresponsible to me, to really go for bat for people who don't care about you, to try to personalize and steal images for things that, really Jesus, many of y'all know my views about religion and stuff like that, but I could care less what color Jesus is, because I don't, that's just not my thing, But yeah, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are the answer, and Trump, and you attacking Ice Cube, a man that has tried to, and when I knew Ice Cube, when he said that when you vote, you don't just go to vote, you go to ask. No, not ask. I take that back. Panis takes that back. You demand things that are of interest for the group. Excuse me. I'm getting better. I feel much better. But you go and you demand those things, and if you don't deliver, if he or she doesn't deliver, then that's your ass next 2 years or 4 years. Simple as that. That's what other groups do. But like I said, black folks, as the great David Carroll said, black folks need to be politically re-educated. And it's demonstrated, and I see that fact demonstrated every day on social media. These tit for tat, these ad hominem attacks, like we in damn grade school, by 40, 50-year-old Negroes that are just really illiterate of the political process, as if that does something. The fact, that voting doesn't always encompass voting for the President of the United States. That voting, you vote for your local councilman. Hell, vote for your damn school superintendent. Vote for your governor. No, we shoot straight for the top, like Negroes try to do. And put so much focus on who's in the White House, when really, in actuality, the person in the White House really doesn't have an everyday effect on your life. It's your councilman who's taking them damn potholes out the road that you got to drive on every day. That's where you need to be putting your political focus on. But Negroes love to vote like who's going to take names when Miss Jackson leaves the classroom. And this is what you get, So, this whole idea of attacking Ice Cube, he's trying to do some, like I say again, if you have a problem with Trump and you say he's crooked, well, Negro, how many crooked Negroes have you done business with, Willie D? And all you shines out here talking about, that Ice Cube is sold out. And so, well, he knows about the political process. You just voting because you want somebody. You just voting because you want somebody out of there. You're not asking nothing. You just, as long as he ain't in there. But you're not asking for nothing. And the things that I can, kind of point to that you made, police reform? What the hell is police reform? What is police reform? If it ain't been, how about reforming decision makings amongst black folks? Reform in your home. How about that? Oh, that's too much lifting. That's too much responsibility for the Negro. How dare you say, I need to hold myself accountable? And like I said, this is the age we living in, folks, where having some sense of self-accountability is shunned. Telling someone, hey, your decision-making, decisions you make are cause and effect, that's offensive to people. How dare you say I need to look at myself and change? We're living in Bizarro Land, and I've talked about Bizarro Land, where left is right, down is up, green is you see where I'm going. And this is what we're living in, folks. And what you have these young, entitled individuals, like the disingenuous white liberals, who black folks have hitched their wagon onto, and are beginning to adopt their mental ways. And I've talked about a lot of these kids out here that are protesting. They are just defunct trust fund babies. And these Negroes are out here following them, thinking they can do and say the things that they do. And it sounds idiotic. It sounds stupid. It sounds really stupid. Trump doesn't need the Negro vote. He don't need y'all. So why should he placate to y'all? For what? What's in it for him? But you seem to have a vested interest in getting him out there, and you're willing to you're willing to gnaw off your arm just to get Trump up out of there. And for what? What has he really done to you but made you feel uncomfortable? And I've said this, that black folk, the so-called black community is very matriarchal now. And Trump, he portrays a very patriarchal sense of masculinity that bothers people. I love it. I love that he says fuck off practically. I love that he cuts people off that try to make snide remarks. Because, like people try to be very petty and cunning and slick. And Trump, he shuts that shit down. That's what I like. But a lot of people don't like that, especially in the so-called black community, where a lot of men now are adopting that effeminate way. And I've talked about sex pandering, usually, or they lack any type, or there's this scary. And when they do jump out, it's very emotional. I talked about the story in which that white man had an AR-15. He was the only guy out there, really. Beer belly. You had about 20 Negroes out there. But you know what? Them Negroes knew not to touch him. And they had ample opportunity to do something to him if they really, really wanted to. But see, Negroes, they're just scary. They're just really, they don't want that smoke. They don't want that. They didn't want that smoke. But you know what? I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all have a good day. Payless out.